After 15 years, one of the most powerful CEOs in history just announced he's stepping down. Tim Cook is leaving Apple, and the man replacing him, he's the engineer who quietly built the most powerful chips on the planet. This is the biggest leadership change in big tech in years, and it's going to change everything you know about Apple. What's up, everyone? Welcome back. If you're new here, we cover the biggest stories in tech that actually matter to your life. Today, we're breaking down the Tim Cook era, who John Ternus is, and most importantly, what this means for every single Apple user on the planet. Because this isn't just a CEO swap. This is Apple signaling a massive strategic shift, and you need to understand it. Let's get into it. When Steve Jobs passed away in 2011, a lot of people thought Apple was finished. Jobs was the visionary, the showman, the guy who made you feel something when he pulled an iPhone out of his pocket. Tim Cook was the operations guy, the supply chain genius, the quiet one. But here's what happened. Under Tim Cook, Apple became the most valuable company in human history. Let that sink in. When Cook took over, Apple was worth about $350 billion. Today, it's worth over $3 trillion. He didn't do it by inventing the next iPhone. He did it by making Apple a services empire. The App Store, Apple Music, iCloud, Apple TV Plus, Apple Pay, the Apple Watch, AirPods. Cook turned Apple from a hardware company into a subscription machine that prints money. He also navigated some of the most brutal geopolitical tensions in tech history. The US-China trade war, supply chain crises, antitrust battles, and a global pandemic. And he did it all without a single major public scandal. So why is he leaving now? Apple announced that Cook will step down as CEO on September 1st, 2026. He's not disappearing. He'll become executive chairman, but the day-to-day leadership, that goes to John Ternus. And when you hear what Ternus has already built at Apple, you'll understand exactly why they chose him. Most people outside the tech world have never heard of John Ternus. But inside Apple, he's a legend. Ternus is Apple's senior vice president of hardware engineering, and he's the man behind the most important product Apple has made in the last decade, the M-series chips. Think about this. Before the M1 chip in 2020, MacBooks were getting beaten by Windows laptops on performance. Battery life was mediocre. Professionals were frustrated. Then Ternus's team dropped the M1, and it was like Apple had cheated. Suddenly, a MacBook Air was outperforming machines that cost 3 times as much. Battery life doubled. The laptop ran completely silent. The M2, M3, M4, each generation has been a leap forward. And it's all been under Ternus's watch. He joined Apple in 2001, right out of college. He spent his entire career there. He knows every product, every engineering decision, every trade-off. And here's what's really interesting. Ternus is a hardware guy in an era where AI is everything. Apple has been criticized, fairly, for being behind on AI. Siri is a joke compared to ChatGPT. Apple Intelligence has been slow to roll out. Google and Microsoft are eating Apple's lunch on AI features. So why put a hardware engineer in charge right now? Because the next AI war isn't going to be won in the cloud. It's going to be won on device. And nobody builds better on-device silicon than Apple. Here's what Ternus is already working on, and it's going to blow your mind. Reports confirm that Ternus's big priorities as CEO are 6 products, 3 AI smart home devices, and 3 AI wearables. We're talking about a HomePod with a screen, smart glasses, and a tabletop robot. Yes, Apple is building a robot for your home. Now, some of these have faced delays. The HomePod with a screen was supposed to launch in 2026. Smart glasses are targeting 2027. The tabletop robot is 2028. But here's the bigger picture. Apple is betting that the future of AI isn't a chatbot on your phone. It's AI embedded in every device around you. Your glasses, your home hub, your wearables. And to win that bet, you need the best chips in the world, running AI locally, privately, without sending your data to some server farm. That's exactly what Ternus has been building for the last 5 years. Apple also just reorganized its entire hardware group into 5 major divisions under Johnny Srouji, the chip chief. This is a war footing. Apple is restructuring to move faster on AI hardware than it ever has before. So, what does all of this actually mean if you're an Apple user? First, Don't panic. Tim Cook isn't disappearing. He'll be executive chairman, which means he's still in the room for major decisions. Second, expect Apple to get more aggressive on AI. The criticism that Apple is behind, Ternus knows it, and he has the tools to fix it, the best chips, the best privacy architecture, and now the CEO title to push the whole company in that direction. Third, the next 2 to 3 years of Apple products are going to be unlike anything we've seen. Smart glasses, home AI hubs, on-device AI that actually works. If Ternus delivers, Apple could leapfrog Google and Microsoft on the AI features that matter most to everyday users. And fourth, this is a generational shift. Tim Cook was the post-job stabilizer. John Ternus is the next chapter. And if history is any guide, Apple's next chapters tend to be pretty good. If you want to stay ahead of every major move Apple makes over the next few years, and trust me, there are going to be a lot of them, hit that subscribe button right now. We cover the biggest tech stories every week, broken down so they actually make sense. One last thing. There's one product in Ternus's pipeline that nobody is talking about yet, and it might be the most important thing Apple has ever built. We're covering that in our next video. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. See you in the next one.